Today topic is versions of .NET. Versions of .NET. Versions of .NET. So, right, in history of .NET, we have seen only one version. What is that version? Urmil, we have seen only one version. What is that first version? What is that first version? .NET 1.0. In which year? Urmil, which year?
1998.
Yeah, I think yesterday we discussed in history of .NET last point is .NET was introduced by the Microsoft first version .NET 1.0 in the year 2000,
2002.
2002. Here the question is what do you mean by next version? Why next version in general?
They're upgrading
Next
and they're
version,
bringing
right? 1 minute. Yeah, come on. Uma, can you guess what do you mean by next version? Why next version? Yeah. Sriya, Harsha, can you tell me what is next version? Why next version?
For each version, there will be advancements, new features added.
Right. Next version is nothing but same product, but what they will do, they will add the features. They will add the features. So adding new features and to make the user task easy. So new feature means it will make user task easy. That is nothing but next version. Okay. So let's discuss about versions of .NET. First version, that is .NET 1.0 in the year 2002. Second version, that is .NET 1.1, Microsoft was introduced in the year 2003. Third version, that is .NET 2.0, that is in the year 2005. And fourth version, that is .NET 3.0, was introduced in the year 2006. Means next version means same product but adding the features and releasing. Okay, now next fifth version, that is .NET 3.5 in the year 2008. And next Microsoft was released next version, that is sixth version, .NET 4.0 in the year 2010. And the next seventh version, that is .NET 4.5 in the year 2013. Like that, Microsoft has released these many versions till the time in .NET. Total number of versions are how many? 7. So it is a version, it was the year when it was exactly. So total 7 versions. Just remember, try to remember all of you guys. But among this you can say 2.0 is one of the biggest release. 2.0 is one of the biggest release because in this version Microsoft has introduced so many new features in .NET. That's the reason we can say it is one of the biggest release. And in this release Microsoft has added so many features like partial class, generics. Due to that reason, it was the biggest hit in among all the versions. Even though since 2010 also, so many companies are using 2.0 version. So here you have to remember one important point, that is Microsoft may release a new version in the very fast manner, but we can't expect that the companies can migrate to the new releases, new versions, because a project which is started 10 years back may be using still 3.5 or 3.0. So companies cannot migrate in that speed like Microsoft. And 3.0, in this version, Microsoft has released some foundation technology concepts like WPF, WCF, and so on. The WPF stands for Windows Presentation Foundation. WCF stands for Windows Communication Foundation. Like this, here WPF stands for Windows Presentation Foundation, was released in the year 3.0. WPF is nothing but .NET Advanced Windows Technology. Whether you remembered or not, in .NET we have first Windows technology is Windows Forms. It is a traditional Windows technology. Using that Windows Forms, we can develop a normal Windows application. Whenever you want to develop animated advanced Windows application by using .NET platform, you can use WPF. WPF stands for Windows Presentation Foundation. Coming to the WCF, WCF stands for Windows Communication Foundation. It is a .NET web service technology. Using this, we can develop a web service like uh, 3.5 some features, 4.0 some features, 4.5 some features, like that. Microsoft has introduced so many versions, like around 7 versions. But among 3.0 version, we discussed WPF and WCF. What is WPF? Let's give again a repetition for this because people will have a confusion here. Yeah, what is WPF? Urmil, WPF stands for Windows Presentation Foundation. It is .NET Advanced Windows technology. Using this, we can develop a animated Windows application. And WCF stands for what? WCF stands for what, Rajnikar? WCF stands for WCF stands for WCF stands for what?
Windows Communication Foundation.
Windows Communication Foundation. It is a web service technology. Using this, we can develop a web service. Next to 3.5, next to 4.0, next 4.5. Remember all the versions and years. That will be good. And I'm removing the list. You people have to repeat now. Yes, total number of versions are, releases are 7. 7. Anybody can give the 7 versions in order? Anybody?
Yes.
Umana?
.NET.
Yeah, number 1.
.NET 1.0
in
2002.
Very good.
.NET 1.1 in 2003. .NET 2.0
Many
in
people can
2005.
respond through chat, right? Right.
.NET 3.0 in 2006. .NET 3.5 in 2008.
Right.
.NET 4.0 in 2010.
Right.
And .NET 4.5 in 2012.
2013. Okay. Right. Here I have 2013. I will have some questions to you people. Now, Seventy, tell me .NET 2.0 in which year? Otherwise, you go through all the versions in your material. You have versions, all of you. Go through it for 2 minutes. 2 minutes in that book. You have versions. Go through it, all of you. I'll give you 2 minutes time. After 2 minutes, I may ask you. You have to explain order. 2 minutes time. Go through the material. Page number. Page number. Page number.
4.
4. Come on. Do it. 2 minutes time. Right. Yes. Updated, I hope. Right. Right. .NET, I'll have a question, Seventy. .NET 2.0, which year? 2005. Okay, some noise. Right. Next. Next. .NET 3.5, which year? Seventy.
2008, sir.
2008. Okay. Next. .NET 4.0, which year? Urmil.
2010.
Right. 2003 version is what? 7. 2003 version. 2003 version 7 1.1. Okay, Shiva, 2.0 which year?
2005.
2006 version is what?
3.0.
3.0. Like that we have various versions. But among all these versions, I'm sure .NET 3.0, 3.5, .NET 3, 4.0 will be similar environments, and the .NET 4.5 will be differ. But as a developer, if you will get an opportunity, you may work in either 4.0 or 4.5. So we'll start with 4.0 in 4 level and we'll end with 4.5. Right. Next thing is where who will provide .NET software, because if you want to develop an application by using .NET platform, we have to get .NET software. Who are providing .NET software?
Microsoft.
Microsoft. .NET software will be providing by the Microsoft. Second question is what .NET software will contain? .NET software will contain. What .NET software will contain? What is that? .NET software will contain mainly two components. It will contain two components. .NET software will contain two components. Okay. Number one is it will contain, whenever you take .NET software, the .NET software will contain two components. Let's say this is .NET software. .NET. It will contain two components. Number one is Visual Studio.NET. Visual Studio.NET, first component. Number two is .NET Framework. It will contain .NET Framework. So finally we can say that .NET software will contain two components. Number one is, first component is Visual Studio.NET. Second one is .NET Framework. .NET Framework. Second one is .NET Framework. Okay. Coming to Visual Studio.NET. So then what is Visual Studio.NET and what is .NET Framework? Visual Studio.NET is a .NET development environment. Visual Studio.NET is a .NET development environment which we can use to develop applications. Means whenever we want to develop an application by using .NET, we have to use a component called Visual Studio.NET. Visual Studio.NET is .NET development environment which we can use to develop the application. And coming to the second, what is .NET Framework? What is a .NET Framework? Answer is .NET Framework is .NET Framework is runtime environment which we can use to run the .NET applications. Whenever you want to run the .NET applications, we need .NET Framework. That's it. Finally, we can say .NET software will contain two components. Number one is Visual Studio.NET. Number two is .NET Framework. Now, yeah, what is Visual Studio.NET? Bhushan.
Yes, sir. It's a development environment where we can use to develop the applications.
Develop the applications, right? Now, next, yeah, Sami Khan, what is .NET Framework? What is .NET Framework? Right. Next, What is .NET Framework? Rajendra, right. What is .NET Framework? Pramoda, Kalyani.
.NET Framework is a runtime environment in which we can run the .NET applications.
Which we can use to run the .NET applications. Okay. Next one is difference between Visual Studio .NET and .NET Framework. Difference between Visual Studio .NET and .NET Framework. Visual Studio .NET and .NET Framework. What are the differences between Visual Studio .NET and .NET Framework? Okay. So first one is you people can guess first point, second point, you can guess second point. Now you can guess third point. Come on.
VS is a .NET development environment.
Right. First point
And
is
the other one?
1 minute. Visual Studio .NET is a .NET development environment. And second thing is .NET Framework is a we can prepare like this. Otherwise, we can prepare a table like this. Let's go with because you open your interview question bank, all of you. You open your interview question bank. Open. You can open your interview question bank. Right. In your interview question bank, you have interview question bank with you, right, guys?
Yes.
Yes. Open your interview question bank. Yeah. Anybody open interview question bank?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did.
In that you can see first question is what?
What is .NET Framework?
Second question is what?
What is Visual Studio .NET?
Visual. All of you are opened or not opened? I will right click and share your screen. I will right click and share your screen. Whose screen I will share? Because interview question bank I want to show to all the people. In my laptop I think it's not there. I kept somewhere. Uma, can I share your screen?
I have opened the
Question
thing in
bank.
another computer, so
No, is it
I didn't
open?
open it on.
Who are open soft copy? Who are open in your system right now? In your screen?
I open, sir.
Is that Shravanti? Yeah? Okay, Shravanti, any personal things are there, just close it. I'm sharing your screen. Right, you can see her screen now. Make presenter Shravanti. Now we can access like this. We have a lot of very good features in GoToMeeting. I can give my access of my keyboard and mouse to the student to make you to write program. Okay, I can access your screen like this. Now, whenever you have an option, show screen, click the button, show your screen. Somewhere you will get an option. Right. Shravanti, did you get?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But I am unable to see your screen still. Right. Yeah. Right. Aditya, lot of noise from you. Mute yourself. Mute yourself. Right. Shravanti, where is your screen? I think you are getting one option. You have to click the button. Right. Anybody open the document now?
I did.
Sir, you can share my screen, sir. This is Bhushan. I have opened it.
Right. Yes. Right. Now you can see, guys, the differences between Visual Studio .NET and the .NET Framework now. Yes. Yeah, you can see. Right. First, you can see first point is .NET Framework. It is it visible to all the people?
Yeah.
No, sir.
Not clear, I think. Otherwise, I'll do one thing. I'll write it notepad. I'll write notepad. Not clear, I think. Okay. Right. First difference is, right, listen. Visual Studio .NET is development environment. Now, what about .NET Framework?
It's a runtime environment.
.NET Framework
Runtime.
Runtime.
Run.
Runtime environment. Yes, is a runtime environment. Okay, that's the first point, first difference. And the second difference is what you can say, Visual Studio.NET we can use to develop the applications. To develop the applications. Next, to develop the applications. Okay, next, right. Next, yes, Framework. .NET framework we can use to what? Use to run the applications. Right, that is the second point. Yes. Next, third point is we didn't discuss, which is a new point right now in this discussion. That is, generally, whenever you develop an application, guys, whenever you develop an application, generally, two people will be there. One person is the application developer and the second person is the application user. For example, I developed one application to the ICICI Bank, then me is the developer, application developer, and ICICI Bank people are the application end user. According to this, Visual Studio.NET is required by which people and a .NET Framework is required by which people?
Yes, by
I
developers.
hope you understood my question. The question is, you will have two people. One person is called application developer, another person is called application end user. Here Visual Studio.NET is required by developer or end user?
Developers.
Hmm?
Developers.
Yes, Visual Studio.NET is required for only developers. Only developers, because developers will use development environment to develop the application. End user doesn't require Visual Studio.NET because he is not developing anything. Now coming to the .NET Framework. .NET Framework required by .NET Framework is required for
Developers.
developers or end users.
Both end
.NET
user.
Framework is required for developers and
And the
end
users.
users. Why?
End
Because
users.
at the time of developing the application also, developer also will run the application to check whether it is giving right output or not. As well as end user every day will run the application. So these both people required .NET Framework. These are the main 3 points. Let's go to the fourth point. Coming to up to your 3 points are right. Come on, Shravan, repeat what is the first point?
Visual Studio.NET is a development environment,
Hmm.
and .NET Framework is runtime environment.
Runtime environment. Now, yes, very good. From Kalyani, come on, repeat the second point.
Visual Studio.NET we can use to develop the applications and .NET Framework is used to run the applications.
Run the application. Now, third point. Sushmita, repeat third point.
Visual Studio.NET is required for only developers, whereas .NET Framework is required for developers and the end users.
Right. Very good. Next, come back to the fourth point is, I'll give you some clarity here. You people have to give me the fourth point is a big point. Let's take, you are taking .NET first version. That the .NET first version is, let's say, .NET 1.0. In this .NET 1.0, you will have Visual Studio.NET component, you have .NET Framework component. Visual Studio.NET will be representing with the year VS Visual Studio.NET, let's say 2002 is the year. 2002 is the year. And the .NET Framework, so otherwise I'll write like this. So penboard is not working today. Let's say you take .NET 1.0. In this you will have 2 points. Visual Studio.NET will be there, that is called 2002, and the second one is .NET Framework. .NET Framework will be there, that is 1.0. In this, in every version, you can find what exactly Visual Studio.NET and .NET Framework in every version. Visual Studio.NET is representing with the year, framework is representing with the version. Come on, right? According to that, first two, yes, come on, Visual Studio.NET, come on, Visual Studio.NET
2002.
2002, yes, in the next .NET
.NET
Framework,
1.0.
.NET Framework, yes, .NET Framework,
1.0.
1.0. This is A, and that means first version. B, come on, Visual Studio.NET, second version, 2003.
3.
Next, here Uma, come on, .NET Framework,
.NET Framework 1.1.
1.1. Very good. C, that is third version. Come on, Vinil, come on, Vinil, come on,
Visual Studio .NET 2000.
2000. What? 5.
5.
5.
Next, .NET
.NET Framework 2.0.
Framework 2.0. Urmil, come on, continue.
VS.NET 2006.
VS.NET 2006. Come on.
3.0.
.NET Framework
2.0.
3.0. Okay. E. Right. Next. Yes. Next. Right.
2008.
Yeah. 7th. Come on. Visual Studio.NET 2008. Next. What is that?
Framework
.NET Framework
3.5.
3.5. Yes. Next. Right. Shiva, continue.
Visual Studio.NET 2010.
2010.
.NET Framework 4.0.
.NET Framework. What is
4.0.
4.0?
4.0.
Yes. E, F, G. Next. Come on. Next. Come on. Kalyani. Kalyani. Come on.
Visual Studio .NET 2012 and .NET Framework 4.5.
2013. Right. Here various versions are there actually. .NET Framework 4.5. 4.5. These are all the main differences. So first we discussed what is Visual Studio.NET. Second we discussed what is .NET Framework. Third, differences between Visual Studio.NET and the .NET Framework. Okay. Yes. Now, right, who can repeat? Right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. 7. Come and give the differences one by one.
From first, sir.
Yeah. One by one. Differences between Visual Studio.NET and .NET Framework.
First one, Visual Studio.NET is a development environment.
Okay.
And .NET Framework is a runtime environment.
Right.
Visual Studio.NET we can use to develop the applications.
Right.
Where .NET Framework we can use to run the applications.
Right. Next.
Visual Studio.NET is required for only developers.
Right.
.NET Framework it's required for developers as well as end users.
Right. Next.
And it is called as it will be called Visual Studio.NET in 2002.
Version 2002.
.NET Framework is 1.0.
Right. Second.
Visual Studio.NET 2003. .NET Framework 1.1.
Right. Next.
Visual Studio.NET 2005. .NET Framework 2.0.
Next.
Visual Studio.NET 2006. .NET Framework 3.0.
Next.
Visual Studio.NET 2008. .NET Framework 2.5.
Next.
Visual Studio.NET 2010. .NET Framework 4.0.
Next.
Visual Studio.NET 2013 and .NET Framework 4.5.
4.5. Yes. Okay. Now you guys do one thing. Next we are going to discuss about a topic called .NET Framework Architecture. .NET Framework Architecture. Yes. In the material, just go through it for 2 minutes. Page number in that material, in your material, go through it fast.
5.
Page number 5. 5 minutes time to all the people to go through the .NET Framework architecture. Right. Have you gone through it, guys?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. So .NET Framework architecture, .NET Framework architecture is representing what exactly .NET Framework contains. Actually, .NET Framework has divided into divided into 4 layers. First layer, layer 1 is representing what? Vinyl. Layer 1 is representing what? Vinyl.
Languages.
.NET languages. You should be eagerly wait for my questions. Immediately you people have to respond like that. Okay. .NET languages. And layer 2 is representing
.NET technologies.
.NET technologies. Layer 3, right, 7. Layer 3 is representing 7.
.NET base class library.
Right. .NET base class libraries. Base class libraries. Layer 4 is representing
CLR.
what?
.NET
.NET Execution,
Execution.
Execution Engine is
Engine.
nothing but CLR. It's nothing but CLR. Base class libraries. In
Language.
short, we can say BC, BCL, BCL. Okay. Finally, we can say .NET Framework architecture has divided into 4 layers. Layer 1 is .NET languages. Layer 2 is .NET technologies. Layer 3 is .NET base class libraries. Layer 4 is .NET execution engine. Same thing in your book also, the diagram is representing like layer 1 is representing .NET languages. So here .NET languages means, yes, .NET languages means what are the .NET languages? And my advice to all the people, take a hard copy of the book, hard copy, make it printouts, that book and keep in your desk. Whenever as part of the session, I am asking you to refer consent topic, consent page, immediately refer, easy to refer, hard copy. Layer 1 is representing .NET languages. They are C#, .NET, C#.NET, VB.NET, again C++ .NET, VC++.NET, okay, and so on like that. You know very well .NET is supporting for multiple programming languages. All these languages are representing by the layer 1. Even though .NET is supporting for multiple programming languages, but .NET programmer is required to learn one language or multi languages?
One language.
Only one. And .NET programmer is going to, we are going to learn a language called what? C#.NET, because most of the companies are using a language called C#.NET. Next, coming to the layer 2. Layer 2 is representing .NET technologies. Among that, number 1 is Windows Forms. Windows Forms. Number 1 is Windows Forms. Windows Forms is what exactly, you know? Yes, Windows. Number 1, Windows Forms. Number 2, WPF. Number 3, ASP.NET. ASP.NET. Number 4, WCF, and so on, and so on, and so on. Right, means here Windows Forms is a .NET Windows technology which we can use to develop a normal Windows application. Means when Microsoft was introducing first version of .NET, that is .NET 1.0, that time they introduced Windows Forms. It is a normal Windows technology. Using Windows Forms, we can develop a normal Windows application. And WPF is a .NET Advanced Windows technology. WPF stands for Windows Presentation Foundation. It is a advanced Windows technology, means using WPF also you can develop a Windows application only, but which is advanced Windows application, nothing but animated Windows application. Whenever you want to develop animated Windows application, then you can use WPF. WPF stands for Windows Presentation Foundation. Number 3, ASP.NET. Coming to it is a .NET web technology. Using ASP.NET, we can develop a web application. And coming to WCF, WCF stands for Windows Communication Foundation. It is a .NET web service technology. Using this, we can develop a web service. Using this, we can develop a web service. So with this, layer 1 is languages, layer 2 is technologies. And whenever you want to develop any application by using .NET platform, you need one language and one technology. For example, if you want to develop a normal Windows application, you need a language called C#.NET and you need a technology called Windows Forms. If you want to develop a advanced animated Windows application, you need a language called C#.NET. You need a technology called, what is that? WPF. WPF stands for
Windows Presentation
Foundation. Whenever you want to develop a web application, you need a language called C#.NET and you need a technology, web technology called ASP.NET combination. Whenever you want to develop a web service, you need a language called C#.NET and you need a web service technology called WCF. With this, we can say whenever we want to develop any application by using .NET platform, you need one language and one technology. Now coming to the layer 3 is representing base class libraries. Layer 3 is representing base class libraries. So what is this? We have to discuss. It's important topic. Explain about base class libraries. Interview question. You can expect this question at the time of attending the interview. Now you can see layer 3 is representing base class libraries. Coming to library means what? Collection. Book library means book collection. Like class library means collection of classes. Here we have to understand what do you mean by class. Class means it is one of the object-oriented programming concept. Object-oriented programming concept means your programming languages are two types. One is called procedural-oriented programming language. Number two is object-oriented programming languages. Programming languages are two types. Programming languages are two types. You can observe. Number one, observe all of you guys. Programming languages are two types. Number one is procedural oriented languages. Okay, so for example, for procedural oriented language, C. Okay, C. In this C language, you don't have a concept called class. The discussion we'll see exactly at the time of C#.NET clearly. Let me give you a small introduction here. Second languages are called object-oriented languages. In object-oriented languages, example C++, Java, and so on, and all .NET languages also object-oriented programming languages. So in these languages, you will see a concept called class. Class is the concept from object-oriented programming language. Class will contain collection of variables and methods. So that concept will be there in only object-oriented programming languages. When I will start C#.NET language about class, what class will contain, all these things we'll discuss in detail. But up to that, you remember class is object-oriented programming language concept. And here we have class concept because .NET is a object-oriented programming platform. Here class library means collection of classes. Base means predefined. Predefined class libraries means Microsoft given class libraries, like you can say header files. So means what? So many base class library means collection of predefined classes, means Microsoft defined classes providing for us. So class library is a collection of classes. Those class libraries are two types. One is predefined, one is user defined. Predefined means Microsoft has given, user defined means programmer has developed. With this we can say one simple statement, because importance of this is more and more. Okay, that's the reason here you may have bit confusion who are coming from non-IT background. You don't require to worry. When I will start this language about all these things, I'll give you the clarity. But up to that, you remember library means collection. Class means object-oriented programming concept. Class library means collection of classes. And class libraries are two types. Predefined class library, nothing but base class library providing by Microsoft. And Microsoft is going to provide and using by the .NET developers. User-defined class library means the class libraries are defined by the developers for his application development. With this we can say base class library is a collection of predefined classes providing by the Microsoft. Base class library is a collection of predefined classes providing by the Microsoft providing to the developers to reduce the developer task. Instead of giving pain to the developer, 99% of classes already defined by the Microsoft, which required by all the .NET developers, and keeping in containers called libraries. Those libraries are called class libraries, and which are given by the Microsoft. That's why predefined, nothing but base class libraries. Finally, we can say base class library is a collection of predefined classes providing by the Microsoft, providing to the developers to reduce the developer task. Means .NET programming is easy because 99% what we need already given by the Microsoft in the form of base class libraries. That's the reason people will say .NET programming is a drag and drop programming. Here a drag and drop because much and maximum class libraries are provided by the Microsoft. We will not write much programming. 99% programming is done by Microsoft. That is about layer 3. But here may have bit confusion about class. That clarity I will give you when we started programming language called C#.NET. Now coming to the layer 4. Layer 4 is representing the .NET execution engine. The .NET execution engine is nothing but CLR. CLR stands for Common Language Runtime. Common Language Runtime is nothing but CLR. CLR stands for Common Language Runtime. It is a .NET execution engine. .NET execution engine. So finally we can say runtime is execution engine. Language means common language because .NET is the platform supporting for multiple programming languages, but for all .NET languages Microsoft has given only one execution engine. That execution engine is nothing but CLR. That's why the name they have given Common Execution Engine, Common Language Runtime. Finally, we can say layer 4 is representing .NET Execution Engine, that is nothing but CLR. CLR stands for Common Language Runtime. CLR is a common execution engine for all .NET languages. Whether you develop an application by using C#.NET, whether you develop an application by using VB.NET or C++.NET or VC++.NET, that application has to execute with the help of CLR. Due to that reason, it is called Common Execution Engine or Common Language Runtime. Finally, we can say .NET Framework architecture has divided into 4 layers. 4 layers. Layer 1 is what? Vinil. Layer 1 is what?
Language, .NET languages.
.NET languages. What are they?
C#.NET, Visual Basic .NET, C++.NET,
and so on.
VC++.
Layer 2 is what? Urmil. Layer 2 is what?
.NET technologies.
They are, what are they?
Windows Form technologies, web technologies.
Now what are the list out? Windows Forms, WPF,
Windows Forms, WPF, ASP.NET, WCF.
WCF. Sushmita, what is Windows Forms?
So Windows Forms is used to develop Windows applications.
And what is it? It is a traditional Windows technology. Using this, we can develop a normal Windows application. Uma, what is WPF? Uma.
Windows Communication Foundation.
WPF.
Windows Presentation Foundation.
WPF. Windows Presentation Foundation. And it is a .NET Advanced Windows
Advanced version.
Right, wait, Vinil, wait. What is the difference, okay. Uma? What is the difference between Windows Forms and WPF, Uma?
Yeah, Windows WPF is it's a .NET technology where animation services are used.
Yes, means here both are Windows technologies only, but in 1.0 they introduced the first Windows Forms. It is an old one, and in 3.0 they introduced a new one, advanced one is WPF. And using Windows Forms, you can develop a simple normal Windows application, normal desktop application. But using WPF, you can develop a Windows application which is animated support, animations which are all supporting in WPF. Now, next ASP.NET, 7th year, what is ASP.NET? Is a .NET Web Technology. .NET Web Technology. Using ASP.NET, what we can do?
Develop the web app.
Web application. We can develop a web. Shiva, what is WCF?
Windows Communication Foundation. It is used for .NET Web Services technology.
Develop a .NET. Whenever 7, I want to develop a Windows application, normal Windows application. What I have to use?
Windows Forms.
Windows Forms, and the language is C#. I want to develop a animated Windows application. Then what I have to use? 7.
WPF. It's Windows
And
Presentation
WPF
Foundation.
and C#. I want to develop a web application. Kalyani, I want to develop a web application. What I have to use?
So we'll use C#.NET language and ASP.NET technology.
Right. I want to develop a web services. I want to develop a web services. What I have to use? Sami, sorry, Uma.
Windows Communication Foundation.
And C#.
And C#.
Next, coming to the base class libraries. Now, Harsha, tell me, explain about base class libraries. What do you mean by base class libraries?
These are the libraries provided by the Microsoft.
Base class libraries are a collection of predefined
Classes.
providing by the Microsoft. Why Microsoft is providing base class libraries, Harsha? To reduce the why Microsoft is providing base class libraries, Harsha? To reduce the developer task. To reduce the developer task, Microsoft is providing base class libraries. Now, Bhushan, tell me layer 4. Explain about .NET Execution Engine.
It's a common execution platform.
Yeah. What is the name of the .NET Execution Engine? CLR. What is the name of the .NET Execution Engine? CLR. CLR stands for Common
Language
Runtime. What is the role of CLR? Executing
all the for all the .NET languages. It's an execution.
Yeah. CLR responsibility is executing all .NET language application. Whether you develop an application by using C# or VB, we have to execute with the help of what? CLR. What is the Java execution engine? Anybody? What is the Java execution engine? Anybody? JVM. JVM stands for Java Virtual Machine. Here we have CLR. Okay. Like that, .NET Framework architecture has divided into 4 layers. Layer 1 languages, Layer 2 technologies, Layer 3 base class libraries, Layer 4 execution engine. So this is about today class. Tomorrow we are going to discuss about .NET application execution process. Whenever you are coming to the class, my advice is use the PDF document notes and just refer and come to the class. And assignment for you is, every day you will have assignment. Be sincere about assignment for you. Maybe we will have couple of sessions like introduction about .NET. Next we'll enter into C#.NET. Assignments for you is task 1. Task 1. Prepare versions of .NET. Task 2. Difference between Visual Studio .NET and .NET Framework. Task 3. Right. .NET Framework architecture. These 3 topics, whatever you understood, prepare handwritten notes and send me the scanned copies to me before your sleep. Now you are having dinner time, I hope. After your dinner, before your sleep, I need to get mail from each and every student. If I will not receive a mail from a student, no more discussions tomorrow. Simple, I have a accessibility called right click dismiss from the classroom. Dismiss means I'll not allow you to the next session. I'm sure about that. Regarding this, I'm very, very strict. Okay. Thank you very much. And regarding schedule, till we will enter into C#.NET, these introduction classes, we are discussing right now introduction classes. In introduction classes, we'll go to same time for 1 week. Okay, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. It is Indian Standard Time. I'm talking about IST 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. We'll have just for 1 week. Later we'll prepone. Later the session ending will be 7:30 and session starting will be 6 to 7:30 later. 6 a.m. to 7:30, that is later. At present, I'm giving some demos to some company people, so that's the reason. So try to cooperate with me for this time. Thank you very much. Still, if you want to talk to me, you can wait. Remaining people can leave for today. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, bye.
Sir, you said tomorrow is at 7?
Sorry. Yeah. Same.
Tomorrow
Same
it's at 7
yeah,
a.m.?
no. Coming 1 week, we will go with the same schedule, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. IST. Okay. Later, the company people also will join with you. Then we will fix 1.5 hour time. That is according to the IST, maybe 6 to 7:30 or 5:30 to 7. That I'll finalize. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody wants to talk to me, please wait for 2 minutes.